All right, so first up, we are going to have Quadfather versus Dark Angel. So, Quadfather, a pretty long time regular here on the Match Critique stream itself. In this case, for the most part, Quadfather is always fighting the Lucina player, Teddy. But this time around, somebody else, Duck Hunt Toon Link. This is I think he got 5 games. Yeah, he got 5 games in total. So should be at least an interesting set to see overall, just because I'm expecting a lot of even back and forth things. And that's kind of what this matchup is like. You have more control over the actual neutral than Toon Link does. But the one area where Toon Link's going to do slightly better than you is Toon Link should be killing you earlier than you'll be killing him. And the kill confirms that Toon Link has are a bit more consistent. However, it's kind of harder for him to get to that zone just because you can control his projectile wall extremely well in this game. But, the things with Toon Link is like he's decently fast on the ground, on the air. Frame data is not terrible. Decent disjoint. Nothing, nothing too oppressive. Like, you still outrange Toon Link, but, if your two hitboxes collide, more than likely Toon Link's going to win because he's got a sword and you don't. And then outside of that, pretty good anti-air with, like, up air. Up smash is a pretty good one as well. And then as well as the edge guarding on Toon Link's side is very, very good as well. However, you can edge guard Toon Link decently well as well. Doesn't really have too many ways to fight you off. Like, of course, he can chuck a boomerang. He can also have the bomb as well. So he's definitely got tools to, like, kind of discourage some things, but, like, nothing too crazy. And not to mention because, like, Toon Link's pretty floaty and not that heavy. He'll die decently, or he'll, like, die at a pretty decent percent to, like, up air, and can as well. So you really don't have to be worried about him, like, living for too long, unless it's just like you keep staling your kill moves that you're using to try and finish him off. And if you keep sending him across stage, then it's gonna suck. But outside of that, it's like you both will probably be killing each other around similar percents, unless like you get some, like, pretty good rage cheese on him, or if you get some pretty good rage cheese on him. And you're just going to mostly be focusing on learning to control the boomerangs and the bombs. Arrow's not really something that comes too often in this matchup, so you're not really going to have to worry about that one as much. And then, of course, just kind of play around his spacing. And you shouldn't really have any issues. Like, overall, I kind of feel like it's just slightly in Duck Hunt's favor, but, like, nothing too substantial, I would say. But let's see what happens. Let's see what adjustments Quadfather has to make, as I've never commentated him doing a slower projectile match. So I think it's going to be the first time that I really see this from him. So see what we get. Also, it looks like they're doing a button test. I do want to mention, overall, I don't like going to Lilat personally just as a player, but this may not be a bad matchup to fight Toon Link on, just because, like, I feel like these little ledges are going to mess up Toon Link more than they're going to mess up you. And if anything, you can probably use this as a way to camp him out a lot better than he could use it to camp you out, especially if you utilize your low profiling. Yeah, I don't think any of them knew what they were doing. So, like, there's a bad communication on how they were going to try and start the match. That was a really good projectile trap from that Toon Link player. And overall, just feeling each other out. Like, if you're going to see arrows, that's probably the most you're going to release from it. Like, just very inconsequential stuff. Yeah, so you do need to be aware that the bomb is going to confirm into aerials if you just kind of stay at ledge and do nothing. So you do need to be a bit careful. He's kind of like at the final percentages where he's probably not going to die at this point. I wouldn't worry about dying just yet from a bomb confirm here, but I would be a little bit wary once I get to 100%. If he had rage, it'd be a different story, though. If he had rage, definitely be a bit more concerned to, like, 85. On this stage, at the very least. Oh, yeah, not paying attention to the drift. Like, you could tell that he was going to end up on the ledge, so you could have gotten a pretty easy punish on that. Also, yeah, as you can see, setting up the gunman is pretty important, just because, like, not only is it going to control the projectiles, but if you get, like, the black gunman, or if you get, like, the lanky one, you get the special downs, then it really messes up his entire neutral game. Good landing trap there at the gunman. Yeah, also, you always want to be, like, focusing on setting up if you can't really get, like, a straight punish on him. So I need to see Quadfather just be a little bit more mindful of that. And yeah, unfortunately, probably mostly more due to online, he wasn't really paying attention to what he was doing, or he did it before he could react to it properly. Yeah, he just kind of mistimed the get up punish with that can. It wasn't that he was trying to punish him on the way down. Ooh, that was kind of a missed opportunity. I think the can would have been able to pop Toon Link. A little bit too early on that. Also, it's kind of good that he up aired away from Toon Link instead of like pressured him. Just because like if he doesn't fast fall that up air, Toon Link can actually up smash out a shield and like punish you that way. Of course, he's not going to die from that at this percentage, but it's something to at least know if you're fighting Toon Link. Yeah, don't use Clay Pigeon there. Should be kind of self-explanatory, but just needs to be said. Yeah, at this point, you can also use Anchor Can, so you can just keep anchoring. You can just keep armoring all the arrows and boomerangs. There's not really anything Toon Link can do about it. So it's another strategy that's not bad to use. Yeah, like there, if he set up anchor with that, that'd be very annoying for the Toon Link player. Because, like, he anchored it with arrows. So him hitting the can would actually send the can, like, right in place. And then you might be able to ping him after it gets hit. Because the reticle shot would probably pull him into it. Unfortunately, we didn't do any throws to armor that. Yeah, it's going to do it, though. 69%, you basically just need, like, 2 combos to make this game even. Yeah, good DI coming from the Toon Link player. Also, yeah, keep in mind, like, if Toon Link's above the platforms, he's not really going to have too many ways to throw projectiles underneath it. Bomb is, like, either he tosses it forward or it goes down. Boomerang, he can somewhat angle, but, like, if he's over here, Boomerang's probably going to hit it. He would have to be, like, over this platform for Boomerang to go under, so... And then, of course, Arrow's just going to go straight. So, honestly, like, when you're playing on this stage, it's pretty easy to tell where his projectiles are going to go or where they can and can't go. So use that to your advantage when you're playing on this stage too. I do think overall this is probably a bad stage for Toon Link in this matchup. A little bit off, but yeah, you could definitely have hit the can back at him. Yeah, that's why I said, like, you really need to use, like, that drop-down Clay Pigeon as a mix-up. Could have gotten a third one in there, and that would have killed him. Just messed it up. Not a bad attempt with that F smash, because, like, if he air dodged down, that would have caught him. But, you know, he just wasn't really... He was betting more on that than reacting to where he actually went. That's the other thing, too. Depending on where the boomerang gets tossed, it actually won't knock down the gunman, especially after scaling 2. If it's like point blank, then it should kill the gunman. But yeah, you can kind of see the gunman now is not getting knocked down from the boomerang. So that's something you can use to your advantage. The other thing, too, is, like, if that's happening to your gunman, that means your Clay Pigeon can rip through it as well. So keep that in mind. Oh, yeah, don't air dodge into Toon Link. Toon Link can't kill you if you air dodge away from him. That was unfortunate. Oh, unfortunately, he hit his controller. So we got a jank look here. Okay, good. That's a trade that works out. 94, not too bad. Just got to play really safe for now. Ooh, good mix-up. Oh, yeah, wait a little bit too long on that can. He added more percent for himself for that kill. He didn't DI that properly. That was just kind of fortunate. But yeah, unfortunately, just like a little bit too committal in a lot of areas. Not the best can placements. Wasn't watching him exactly in a lot of like key moments. Did a lot of good evasions to like get around the projectiles and all that stuff. So that was fine, but it's just like in certain positioning that he was having, he wasn't really capitalizing on a lot of moments. And that's kind of like the biggest thing that I'm seeing right here. It's like pretty good recognition of how the projectiles are working on Toon Link's end of things, but not really, you're kind of unsure on like how to turn around for your favor. But overall, like that was a good stage to go to. Let's see, yeah, no here, what do we got? Oh, that was weird. It was like a weird in-between where I think it hit. I think maybe it only hit the dog. Maybe it didn't hit the gunman at all. It kind of looked like it did, though. So I remember correctly, I think arrow hitboxes are extremely tiny. Let me double check, though. Yeah. There's no way that's hitting the gunman and the dog. I think it's way too small. Okay. Sup, bear? Overall, this is kind of how you want to do it. Control the center stage and just keep him on the platforms. There's not really too much Toon Link's going to be able to do to get down from this. Oh, you could have saved your... You could have, like, broken him in the middle of that F-tilt to make sure you don't get hit there. Also, yeah, be very careful about those air dodging ins. It's like you've done that. That's kind of been your go-to habit when you're in disadvantage. Yeah, again, like you did it right there. Like that's a clear habit that you have. So if we'll see if he picks up on it later, but as long as somebody picks up on it, they can just like F smash and kill you at 60 with a lot of the cast. Also keep in mind, if you do shield down air, I'm pretty sure you can just up smash out of shield. No, not that one. Toon Link down air. Yeah, Toon Link down air is negative 16, negative 17 on shield, and so if he's in front of you, you can up smash it. If he's behind you, then you can't. It has to be in front. Yeah, so that wasn't a bad use of gunman. You could have just punished the air dodge in, but I think you were starting the gunman like way before. Like, so something that I'll say about this, so you always hear me complain about people using gunman at ledge, but I will say this particular usage, I guess I have to go back one more. This particular usage right here is not bad, and the main reason why I'll explain that is not only is he like no longer like left in hit stun, but because of the cam being here, he technically is having multiple things set up at the moment. So whether the gunman's here or not is kind of irrelevant. And in this case, it can block him from using projectiles to get past this. So this isn't bad. This is, if you're going to use gunman at ledge, this is one way to do it. Dog even. Yeah, I think he used both of your double jumps, but if you didn't, you got a pretty easy way to combat that. Ah, yeah. I mean, you got to remember, you're on Yoshi's story, so I think that slant, you didn't adjust your height for it on your jump. Oh, that was a really good ledge trump from them. Remember, if you hold in, then you'll always counter every single ledge trump, but of course that's a little bit hard to react to online. Don't forget, when you have this positioning right here, you have a roll trap. Just stay right here, and then the second he rolls into you, you can do whatever you want. But this will cover spot dodge, and this will cover roll away as well. Yeah, you kind of messed yourself up there. Yeah, that was a good trap. Also, something that I don't see you do, but it's something that you kind of have to be learned to get more comfortable with, is remember, you can pick up the bombs and use them against Toon Link as well. So that is something you can utilize. A little bit early on that detonation. Oh no! Oh, you got too antsy. You got way too antsy. Like you saw yourself being able to get the kill, and then you just threw out every single kill move, but without thinking about how you're gonna get it. So yeah, remember when you have them like in those scenarios, just calm down. Like you really messed up when you did this one. Like I'm pretty sure you meant to do another down air at ledge, which obviously that would have hit him. But yeah, once you miss that, just like okay, just wait for the roll. Just tell yourself that, and then if he does it, then you'll kill him, and if he doesn't, you'll keep him at the ledge longer. Yeah, you gotta stop rolling in. Good stuff. Good stuff. That was a good way to play patient. Yeah, I was gonna say, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to set up like a gunman fairly early, especially when he hit the can. A little bit late on that reaction. I'm pretty sure you could have gone past. Also, something that you should do, since he's always been down airing after you do the third up air, is just like fake go for that third up air and then just like fast fall land so he does it and you just punish him for doing it. Oh man, you didn't follow up against him. It looked like you were trying to get like another neutral setup going. High risk, but it worked. All right. Yeah, definitely like some parts where you're dropping the ball, but yeah, and overall, it does seem like you at least have a concrete idea of what you need to be doing in the matchup. Oh, okay. I do want to apply to you going for fair though. Just because that fair would like put him off stage, and you controlling center stage rather than juggling him is probably a little bit of a better position. But then again, Toon Link's pretty bad at landing, so up air wouldn't have been bad either. But no, overall, I'm kind of glad to see you go for that. Yeah, good catch. Can. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so let me comment one thing on this. It's probably right before that. So, I mean, I like that when you threw it, you kind of immediately got rid of it, because if Can was sitting over here, I don't think it would really do too much for you in this scenario. But there's two things you need to remember. So if you're over here and your opponent's like above you, like kind of in this area, generally speaking, I would say you're gonna want Can to be thrown to center stage, and this is the main reason. When you throw Can to center stage, it's gonna be able to cover all of this area, and it's gonna be able to do a lot more, and it's gonna be immediately useful for neutral. Whereas if you throw it this way, it's really covering only one landing option, and if they go to ledge, that's kind of it. So this is way more limited compared to you throwing it to Can to center stage, so you can control a lot more. What's up, Donuts? Glad to see you back in here, especially with the derp duck. So that's why I would recommend throwing Can here. So it's just going to have a lot more utility this way. And let's say your opponent ends up being on this side. If you hit the opponent with like duck hunt back air or something like that, or like duck hunt strong nair, that's going to send them a lot farther away than Can does. And if Can is at center stage, then you can immediately just run jump back air, and then you can immediately get Can to ledge, or like trap it behind them to force them to roll from ledge, and then you can get a punish off of that. So that's why I think like you just get way more opportunities by throwing Can to center stage versus throwing it off this way. But I am glad that you did do the quick reset with it. Yeah, see, that's kind of the thing about like doing the drift away with up air. So you do need to go decent distance away before he can't punish you with anything. Yeah, again, if you could go get up and like grab the bombs, you'll be able to do a lot of cool things with it. Good idea, but unfortunately he just decided to go for the right play to get around it. I don't think he was planning to counter Can like that. Hey, I don't think he had the DI there. Okay, that was all kinds of black. Had the right idea. Unfortunately, it's just you're a little bit too far away. Or you started your fair a little bit too. Whoa. That was weird. Ooh, quick roll there. Ah, yeah, see? That's what you do. You hold forward a lot, so it makes it pretty easy to predict where you're going to land. So remember, ledge is probably the safest place for you to go like 90% of the time. Also, the other thing too, so I know you like doing drop down clay pigeon a lot, but like especially for the Toon Link matchup or like any projectile characters, do drop down can, because remember, when can is like first being launched upwards, it can absorb projectiles without altering its trajectory at all. So that way you kind of have like an immediately safe spawned wall that comes out like frame 5. Like I think it can protect you like that early. And then you just get a free setup off of it and a free way to get back to stage. So keep that in mind. Yeah, he hit you out of it, so that's the reason why it looks so jank. Should be a stock. Ah, yeah. Oh, that was very bad. Yeah, when you do that out of shield nair, do not go in front of the Toon Link player. Drift way to the back. Drift way far away from them. That's so lucky he can do that. He doesn't have to worry because he tosses you up. Yeah, again, be more confident in your shield cans. You don't really have to like get rid of it. Like there's a lot of opportunities that you had to go for it, or like you had it set up, but you kind of got rid of it a lot of the time. I don't know why you did. Should be dead. Yeah, if you just like, if you're confident that going for the down air, I definitely recommend doing that. Or like even trying to like two frame with down angled F tilt. So, I mean, I'm glad you got that there, but don't forget, you can also up air the can to help chase him in the air too. Yeah, sure. Shoot it in the chat. Okay. Yeah, so that's the other thing too. It's like I feel like I haven't seen enough of you using Gunman to like help try and block his projectiles. Like, okay, focusing on duck and the dog and can's probably the number one thing, but I do think you need to get better at utilizing Gunman in this matchup because I feel like you could be stopping a lot more of his pressure by utilizing that. It's Fleece. Just stop landing with Clay Pigeon. It's not, especially against his sword. Just don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Also, remember, he can kill with back throw, but he can't really kill with his other throws. So keep that in mind when you're just shielding around Toon Link. Like, specifically, only back throw is the only thing you have to worry about, like, that actually killing you. Because, like, yeah, if you didn't do Clay Pigeon, like, you could have stuffed him out with, like, a back air or something. How do you deal with pit or dark players mashing aerials? Yeah, that stuff isn't really safe. I mean, okay, you probably are familiar with like the hitboxes themselves on Pit and Dark Pit, so I'd assume so. And it's like if you're familiar with that, you kind of know like they don't really have the best range on them, nor are they like necessarily the safest things in the world. Like let me see how safe. Let me see how like minus they are on shield. I don't think Plant's able to do that in particular. Like I'm thinking you could shield grab them. Fade back, I don't think you can punish. Fade back, I'm not going to assume you could ever punish that. Like, fade back fair, yeah, they should be safe. Because, like, fair has a decent auto-cancel window on it, but they can't land with this aerial. So it's like they have to do fair, and then they have to Like, they have to do Rising Fair for that to auto-cancel. If they do Landing Fair, then it's probably going to land with Landing Lag. And when they do Landing Fair, that's like -10, -9. And Neutral Air, -12, -11. Like, that one's not good. Auto-cancel frames are pretty good on it. Like, yeah, 5 frames afterwards. So they need to time this pretty specifically in order to get that. Honestly, so if they do feedback, like, you know, don't worry about punishing that. Like, you just can't. But like some of these things, like if they're trying to cross you up with them, you might be able to up smash out of shield. This one might be a little bit harder though. Neutral air might be a little bit harder to do. I mean, I want to say like that's kind of more of a plant specific problem, just because like his out of shield options aren't as good. So I don't know. I'd have to look into the scenario a little bit more. So let me continue going through this, and then I can try and get back to you on that. All right. Okay, good that you're aware of the boomerang. Yeah, he's gotten you with like a... I feel like for the most part, you've done a pretty good job of being aware of the boomerang traps that he's going for. So that's one thing that it looks like you kind of have down on the matchup, which is good. That's too bad. If you got your attack out on time, then you would have been able to stop that boomerang. Actually, I kind of want to see that again. How? Okay, so that's actually worth knowing, is that like if he's starting up arrow, it's going to launch exactly from where he is, so it's not going to really descend with him. So it's definitely, at least for this matchup, it's kind of hard for... I mean, it probably applies to Young Link as well, where arrows are more of an issue. Yeah, it's like it's not really a move you have to be too worried about. Oh, oh that's unfortunate. Remember, if you completely like... Oh, whoops, that was way too far back. If you completely avoided like their up B... Yeah, okay, it was right here. Like, if you completely avoid their up B, like, you don't be afraid to just land on top of them and punish them. Like, as you were falling down, like, you could have fast fell like clay pigeoned. Something along the lines of that. At the very least. And remember, like, if you go down with a fair, like, that's going to not only beat out all projectiles, but then you'll be able to hit them afterwards, too. So don't be afraid to, like, land with fair. Like, you're pretty much exclusively landing with clay pigeons. And that's not really a good thing. See, that was a big drop. I don't know why you weren't covering roll there, and you were setting up the roll coverage, but then you did nothing with it. So that was just a drop. So make sure you're always there. Okay, should be dead. No! All you had to do was back air, and he was dead. At least you got him. Okay. Good air dodge there. But keep in mind, like, so this player has not caught into the fact that you hold in all the time and you roll in all the time. Like, he's just going for the punish that seems easy to do. But, like, as long as he kept in mind that you're always holding in and rolling in, he would be killing you way earlier and way more consistent. So you need to be very careful about how you're doing it. Yeah, that's a standard Toon Link thing, so don't get too shook up about that. But keep in mind, like, if Toon Link is like jumping above you and trying to go for the boomerang kill confirm, you can literally just drop down a Gunman and it's going to stop it from working. Also, keep in mind, like, if a boomerang's coming behind you, something that you can do is, like, you can do a jump nair. So then that way the hitbox just completely beats it out. So you don't have to worry about that coming back and hitting you if you need to do a clay pigeon combo that way. Oh, be very careful about using a jump like that. Like that could have been your death. You should have been able to lift that. Also, keep in mind, like, he kind of SD'd at, like, 20%, so he should technically be up a stock on you right now, too. So that should kind of tell you that, like, you're leaving a lot of openings that you shouldn't be. Also, yeah, like, don't be afraid to just use Anchor Can. Like, you have no reason to approach him. Tinlink's not an approaching character. Oh, you almost messed him up on that DI. That should do it. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So, let's talk a little bit of trigonometry here. What you always want to hear about in Smash. So when you go for this bear can, you want to ping it around here, so then that way you're cutting off his recovery right about over here. And this is kind of where you want Can to be, because he has to kind of come into that zone. I don't know why you went for the grab, but you know, you did enough damage to him, that's all you had to do. So at least it worked out. Okay, not a bad stage to end it on. Oh yeah, I should also mention. So this honestly is this honestly might be one of our best stages against the Lynx, just because the way the platforms are, I think, are way better for us than they are for the Lynx. But like outside of that, I would recommend go to the larger stages, so that way it's kind of harder for the Lynx to like actually get anything set up against for you in a meaningful way, and they have to approach you. Honestly, that might be one of my biggest critiques of you, is that at least in these last 4 games, you're way more focused on actually approaching him than forcing him to approach you. And I think that's kind of like counterintuitive, because you're putting yourself at risk there when you don't need to. And because you're putting yourself at risk, it leaves you open to get like hard punished by this character a lot more. So like really keep that mentality in mind. Like if you change it to a more defensive thing about Toon Link has to come to me and lay himself open so I can punish him, I think you're going to get a lot farther in terms of like being in terms of like safety and just like not losing your stocks as easily. But yeah, frame 1 can's always a god. Good combo break. Oh, that was a really good extension there, but unfortunately, it's just he did not go to the platform. Okay, Link stuff 101. You just remember this with your heart. Okay, if Link is in a position like this is the freest punish in the entire world, because he has no hitboxes to the side of him. There's absolutely zero reason why you need to second guess yourself and if you're going to get a punish on him. Like, look at this. So honestly, this is a bigger hitbox than I expected it. I didn't expect it to be this disjointed on the side. That's kind of wild. But like overall, like you can just kind of get under him or just hit him from the side, and there's not really anything he can do about it. So don't be afraid to hit him there. Just hit him. Like, look at this. Let's go in slow motion and let's analyze how much we could hit him. Like you could have just like thrown out an F tilt, even like a. I'd say, I don't know if down smash would have connected, but like you could throw in an F tilt, you could have done a dash attack. You could have done like dash attack into a can ping right there, and there's not too much you could have really done about that. And yeah, you could have saved yourself from him hitting you there. Yeah, that was a huge drop, actually. Gigantic drop. You might lose your stock now. Not a bad setup. So, real quick, if he's not going to die by the back air, go for the nair, because it's going to send him off stage. It's going to do more damage. And then when he's at death percent, you go for a strong bear. Yeah. But the good thing is that up air's on Toon Link, so there's nothing really to be worried about. That's unfortunate. You had the correct read, at least the F smash. He's dead. Yeah, so like that stuff right there, this is exactly what I'm talking about with the Toon Link matchup. Textbook 101. Okay, anchor cannon setup. You have a projectile wall, and there's not really too much you can do about it, so projectiles can only go over this thing, and that's it. So right there does nothing. You're at a safe distance away from Can, so bombs are not going to affect you unless he tosses it over, which you will see him jump if he does that. If he jumps and throws a bomb from here, you can literally jump fair, catch the bomb, and hit him with fair. And then, like, when you see him, like, going for another projectile toss, or even if he goes for the bomb, you can do this little short hop here to get around all those projectiles. And then the second he comes down, you can just punish him with a fair. Just like that. Just, like, textbook things you can do against him. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that can to hit him either. Don't blame me for missing that one. Ah, yeah. Fortunately, Lilat messed you up there. Normally, the clay pigeon was the correct thing to go for, but in this case. So you do need to keep this in mind. They can throw this out that move is a lot harder to punish than it looks like, at least from the end lag of it. So, like, if you can't, like, straight up clay pigeon it, or you don't know how to hit him from above, like, you can just fall on top of him and nair him. That'd probably be my go-to thing. Let me see. I actually haven't looked at what the hitbox actually looks like for this move. Yeah. So, like, overall, like, a decent hitbox. Like, you know, this isn't the easiest thing in the world to just get around, but, like, as long as you're aiming for his head, because, like, this hitbox is only in front of him, and not to mention his head sticks above it. Like, you know, fall down with a strong... Yeah, like, fall down with, like, a nair. Nair is probably what I'd recommend on top of him. Or if you're really good at doing the down air to get the kill confirm, that too. Those would be the two things I'd recommend doing. Yeah, see, like, right there, like, that entire time, like, you just decided to approach him. Like, you decided you needed to play the approaching game with, instead of, like, setting up, like, a dedicated wall to, like, prevent his projectiles from working. And I think, like, that's just one concept you need to put in here. You at least know how to get around, like, the projectiles and everything. So you know how to play around them, but you're not playing the counter to them, like, the antithesis to what his neutral is. And if you do that, you're going to have a much easier time. Like, there's zero reason for you to be playing Toon Link's game when he needs to play yours. Yeah, again, like, just please stop doing that. Just get away, get your safe distance, space around him, and then, you know, punish him coming towards you. Again, like, you're not setting up anything. Like, you could have set up a really nice safe wall there. If you stay over there, you can see how hard it is for him to actually get a projectile to hit you from above. Like, it's a huge safety net that you have that you're just not taking advantage of. Oh, that's too bad. You could have gotten the punish on him there. I don't know what that dash attack was. That was a reckless abandon scenario. Oof, yeah. Yeah, like, I'm not sure why you're rushing things. Like, there's no reason for you to rush anything. Like, he was over here, you had, like, all this time to reset, like, neutral or just to get a trap started, but you just decide to, like, rush to him, and that's how you lose. That's always going to be how you lose. Yeah, you gotta remember. You just have to remember this ledge here. Like, this is gonna do you no favors for clay pigeon. Like, you really need to stop clay pigeoning like crazy. Okay, not sure why you up aired from a down air unless you meant to up smash. Then that makes sense. Oh no! Yeah, that's probably online lag. You also remember, like, if he has a bomb in his hand, like, it makes it really easy to up air him because he can't immediately down air. He'd have to toss the bomb down first, and your up air can even catch that too. So yeah, if he's holding a bomb, don't be afraid to up air from below because he can't really counter that. That was a pretty nice setup. Yeah, again, please just... if you see him like just running towards you, just like land and shield. Like, just stop pressing side B. Okay, good. See, like, this is good positioning right now since, like, you're kind of in, like, an automatic response scenario, so you at least covered that. But he had his one opening there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he can up smash you from down there. Again, like, you're not paying attention to the roll traps that you're getting set up here as well. Oh, and you weren't ready for that. That's all. Online, though. Online. That's another thing that you're not utilizing is, like, the fact that down gunmen are going to absorb all of his projectiles, too. Like, you've developed zero game plan around that as well. Oh, what? You had a... Okay, at least you... Okay, you got the punish there. Yeah, you gotta pay attention to how the projectiles are gonna interact with your can. Oh no. Oh, are you dead? Yeah, that was a... There was no reason for you to do like that weird thing at the end. You could have literally just like gone right underneath. And you have to remember, you don't get trapped here anymore. Like it pushes you up to the ledge. So I don't know why you did that weird recovery trajectory. Unless Wi-Fi lag. Wi-Fi lag's always a real thing, but that was unfortunate. Yeah, you actually had to come back there. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just a sad way to end it. Because you couldn't have canceled it with an aerial beforehand too. Like I don't think it was an option. Like maybe you could have up aired and grabbed the ledge before you fell down. I'm not sure, but like that's like the only thing I could have seen happening. Yeah, that was a bit of a tricky. That was kind of tricky once you got past the ledge at that certain point. But you know, outside of that, you need to utilize Gunman better just to like stop his entire neutral from working. Don't get antsy. Don't approach him because he needs to approach you, especially if you have the lead or if you're on even grounds. Like, don't force yourself to get him. There's zero reason to do that. Also, you know, build a game plan around Anchor Can. You're not utilizing that at all in this matchup, and it's a very powerful tool. The other thing too as well is, you know, if you're playing on Lilat, make sure you're taking advantage of the ledges. Like, you're trying to play way more center stage when you should be playing like kind of more towards the ledge, just because it's really hard for Toon Link to get projectiles over this area to hit you. As well as if you have a gunman or anchor can set up, then that narrows the gap even further, and it makes it impossible for Toon Link to approach you like in a meaningful way. Like he has to make some hard read commitment in order to get in, and it just makes it really easy to consistently punish him over and over again. And not to mention, like, if he approaches you, you grab him, you toss him off stage, then he needs to get back up from ledge, and for the most part, your ledge traps have been pretty decent. So, you know, if you do that, you'll get a lot of damage on him. Should be pretty easy for you to get the kills that way. Good job on, like, understanding a lot of the boomerang traps that he had. So, you know, no complaints there, really. Recommendations for the matchup, obviously, is learn to catch bombs and then use them. That'll always go a long way. It's something that, as I mentioned, if he pulls out a bomb, do abuse the fact that he needs to throw out the bomb before he does an attack. Like, obviously you could do the Z drop and then aerial. That's something you do have access to, but like that's really only going to be like the best of the Toon Link players that are going to be utilizing that. And oh wow, I just realized I am. Why did it just disconnect? That's weird. Okay. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. So for anybody that was watching the VOD, for some odd reason my internet just completely disconnected, and it wasn't the usual thing. It's just, yeah, just disconnected. So sorry about that. But yeah, no. So those are the things overall. Also, keep in mind your roll in habit, your holding in habit when recovering. That's a very exploitable habit that you have that this Toon Link player did not take advantage of. And then, yeah, also abuse the fact that you can punish him when he pulls the bombs and all that stuff. And then, yeah, no, I mean, if you keep those things in mind, you should see yourself improve exponentially in this matchup. And also be aware of the roll traps that you have set up because you got a lot of those going. And yeah, that should do it for this.